use the word racism, let's understand something here. Carrington just bring up racism. She brought up bigotry. She brought up misogyny. She brought up, intersectionalities. She brought up all of these different things. And why is that important? Because the society that we live in, of course, xenophobia, homophobia, she brought all of that up. Why is it important to point that out? Because what has transpired, yes, Caitlin Clark is the name of the day to use, but there's a broader issue here that can't be escaped. And
so lads, it's Dijonai Carrington time again. We got to talk about Dijonai Carrington. And why are we talking about Dijonai Carrington? A lot of the time because she has gone and hit somebody in the face. Dijonai Carrington has an issue with hitting people in the face. And by the way,
Stephen A. Smith thought he was just giving hot takes. Then DJ Carrington hit back like it was Game 7. Now the internet's on fire, Caitlin Clark's caught in the middle, and the WNBA suddenly feels like an episode of Survivor Hardwood Edition. Did Stephen A. really call her a thug? Is Carrington about to drop 30 in tweets? And why does Caitlin look like she wants a trade to Mars? Stick around. This meltdown is pure gold.
Dijonai said this on her Twitter account. She said, "Y'all fans swear I'm such a dirty player. I'm so over this narrative because if you really know ball, you know I just play hard and never give up on a play. And yep, we challenged the last couple flagrants and got him rescinded because I'm always trying to make a play on the ball. None more, none less." As you can see, it's a jump ball. Skylar's going down for a fast break layup. Dijonai winds up and smacks her across the head, and Skylar is on the ground having a hard time getting up. Now, this obviously was going viral. We talked about another flagrant foul that Dijonai committed in a previous game where she also took out her own player. But this was something where people are saying, okay, Dijonai, this is happening a little bit too much for my...
So apparently, the WNBA is now a reality TV show produced by Bravo, hosted by Stephen A. Smith, and guest directed by DJ Carrington's Twitter fingers. If you were expecting basketball jokes on you, we're in the middle of a drama-fueled, passive-aggressive telenovela with crossover cameos from ESPN Hot Takes and Mean Girls-level locker room energy.
That feeling when it comes to Dijonai Carrington and dirty basketball, Dijonai Carrington and flagrant fouls. How come every time I'm watching a flagrant foul, you're committing the foul? How come every time I'm watching a dirty play, you in the play? Dijonai, can we go a week without you flailing and going after somebody? Can we just go 1 week? That's all. Just 1 week, Dijonai.
It all started when Stephen A. Smith, whose primary job description is to yell at the camera like it's his ex-wife's divorce attorney, decided it was time to drop a nuclear opinion on DJ Carrington. Naturally, he couldn't just say she plays with intensity. He had to go full tabloid and unleash a word that practically drips with decades of dog whistling and coded nonsense: thug. Because nothing says insightful sports commentary like smearing a player with a word that makes suburban HOA presidents clutch their pearls.
I don't think Dijonai Carrington is intentionally smacking people in the face. What I think she's trying to do is she sees all the social media hype when she gets a big block, and she's trying to get big blocks and does not care whether or not she hurts an opponent in the meantime. So far this year, she has picked up now 3 flagrant fouls, and how she didn't get ejected from this game is beyond me.
Now, DJ Carrington is not the type to let some talking head throw shade and then sit back and sip a Gatorade. No, she went DEFCON 1. We're talking tweets, retweets, subtweets, emojis that scream "try me," and enough side-eye energy to power the entire New York subway system. Somewhere in all this, Caitlin Clark, America's most sponsored WNBA player and unofficial spokesperson for "I just want to play basketball," gets roped into the plot like a bewildered sitcom neighbor who opened the wrong door.
And spoke up. I got where she was coming from. I certainly don't hold Caitlin Clark accountable for that. But what Caitlin Clark has to understand is that it's not really you personally. It's you, the figure. It's you, the prop per se, that is being utilized to address a bigger point. If we could do it, everybody has done it. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others were trying to make things happen.
Carrington, who just wanted to play basketball, dress like a Vogue cover shoot every game day, and body up her opponents like she's auditioning for a Fast and Furious spin-off, is suddenly public enemy number one because, gasp, she plays with aggression. As if that's not literally in the job description. And what did she do that was so criminal? Breathe near Caitlin Clark? Maybe block her shot. Perhaps exist with visible muscles and zero tolerance for nonsense. And let's be honest, Caitlin Clark didn't even ask for any of this. She's just trying to hoop without someone trying to make her the WNBA's version of Snow White being chased by 7 extremely muscular defenders. Meanwhile, ESPN's coverage is less about assists and rebounds and more about who shoved who and what Stephen A. thinks about it in 14 different octaves. Now back to Carrington. Her response to Stephen A.'s label wasn't exactly, let's agree to disagree. It was more like, I've got time today and I brought the receipts. She delivered a full-blown digital takedown, complete with a sprinkle of sarcasm, a dash of disbelief, and enough verbal smoke to set off fire alarms at Bristol, Connecticut, and people lost it.
The backlash on Dijonai Carrington. Dijonai Carrington is gone nuclear at this point. I mean, we're talking thermal, atomic, Hiroshima action. People are pissed. Basketball fans are pissed. And I understand why. I mean, not only is the WNBA covering for players like this, they're doing these egregious things on the court that is not physical play. It's dirty play.
The internet did what the internet always does, split faster than a pair of discount yoga pants during a lunge. On one side, you had the "she's ruining the game" crowd, frantically trying to explain how physical play is acceptable unless you're not blonde and smiley while doing it. On the other side, you had fans of actual basketball who said, you know what, maybe stop tone policing women athletes and just enjoy the damn game. And then there was Caitlin Clark in the middle of it all, staring into the camera like Jim from The Office, wondering how her mid-range jumper turned into a civil rights discussion. Meanwhile, the WNBA PR department was in full crisis management mode. They haven't worked this hard since someone decided to put teams in cities where the team mascot out-earns the entire roster combined. Somewhere, a WNBA exec was definitely pacing in a boardroom muttering, "Can we not have a national debate every time someone gets fouled?" But nope, that's not how this league rolls anymore. The WNBA has officially become the center of every cultural debate known to man. Race, gender, respectability, hairstyle politics, and whether or not it's okay to full body check someone after a missed three-pointer.
To be you, Mustard, where you walk around this life never taking accountability for the shitty behavior that you display day after day. There's literally a highlight reel that we can make now of you taking players out on the court, man. People are about to score, and you sit up here and try to come at the very last minute when you're way too late to block shots and make plays on the ball when you don't have time to. But you still sit here and act like it's WWE and try to take these players out on the court. But
the NBA's over there printing money and pretending to care about load management, while the WNBA is fighting off social media mobs, racial stereotypes, and referees who seem to think a hard foul is an act of terrorism. Let's rewind to Stephen A. for a second. The man talks so much, he probably narrates his own dreams. But when he decided to go full Shakespearean villain and accuse Carrington of playing thuggish, he turned what could have been a conversation into a firestorm. He probably thought he was just offering hot commentary. You know, the usual, is LeBron the GOAT? Is Steph soft? Did Jordan invent the jump shot? But instead, he dropped a match into a gasoline lake. Carrington, who has the patience of a TSA agent during spring break, was not having it. She whipped out her phone and typed like her thumbs were fueled by pure caffeine and generational trauma. She reminded everyone she's not here to perform niceness for ESPN ratings. She's here to win, with style, and maybe an elbow or two. And the best part? The game in question wasn't even that dirty. No broken noses, no blood, no WWE suplexes, just normal basketball contact, the same kind that gets applauded in the men's league. But in the WNBA, suddenly we're asking if Carrington has a criminal record because she bumped into someone with enough force to move a traffic cone.
Flagrant foul calls got rescinded because Kathy Engelbert is scared of you. Kathy Engelbert sees you across from her in her office and she starts shaking. Dijonai, you want me to rescind these flagrant fouls for you? Yeah, Kathy, that's exactly what I want, Kathy. Okay, Dijonai, because if Kathy Engelbert said, no, we're going to leave them as flagrants, Dijonai Carrington is going to run right on Twitter. She's going to run right on Twitter, right to her Substack. She's going to go in her journal. The racism that I just had to endure talking to the commissioner of the WNBA should not be tolerated here in this league.
Oh, and let's not forget the pearl clutching over Caitlin Clark getting fouled. Every time she hits the floor, ESPN acts like someone assassinated a Disney princess. Meanwhile, Carrington could take a charge from a semi-truck, and the commentators would be like, well, that's just part of the game. And bless Caitlin, because she's not even fanning these flames. She's out here answering press questions like a hostage, reading a prepared statement. I love the competitiveness of the league. Everyone plays hard. Translation: please stop using me to gentrify basketball. I'm just here to hoop. But the media? Oh, they need villains. They need saints. They need memes, controversy, drama. And when you're a confident black woman who refuses to smile after fouling someone, congratulations. You've just been assigned the villain role in the WNBA cinematic universe. Carrington didn't apply for this job, but she's been cast anyway. And the reactions keep getting dumber. Some fans are out here saying Carrington should apologize. For what exactly? Playing defense? Wearing braids? Not genuflecting before Caitlin like she's the second coming of Sue Bird? It's giving 1950s school board energy. Next, they'll want her to smile more and bring cookies to the post-game presser.
Pulling ponytails now? Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm literally sitting here watching the Sparks and Dallas game. And then I see this play and I'm like, fam, please tell me Dijonai didn't just yank this girl ponytail.
But DJ Carrington doesn't do fake apologies. She does gym work, media shade, and flawless tunnel fits. So while Stephen A is yelling into a camera like someone told him the Knicks got eliminated again, Carrington is in the lab, cooking up the next viral moment, on or off the court. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark now has to dodge press questions like she dodges double teams. Do you think Carrington is violent? Do you support her thuggish behavior? Do you think Stephen A is racist or just incredibly loud? The poor girl just wants to get her shots up and go home without being turned into a political statement. And let's talk about the term thug for a second. Every time a black athlete plays hard, the media's favorite Mad Libs game is to choose between thug, aggressive, or not a good role model. It's like they think WNBA players are required to play defense with a smile and a coupon for Bed Bath & Beyond. But Carrington? She plays like she means it, like the paycheck matters, like maybe she didn't come from a prep school pipeline. And for some reason, that's a threat. Not to the league, not to the fans, but to the idea that women athletes should be dainty, marketable, and above all, non-threatening. Spoiler, DJ Carrington is very threatening, not because of how she plays, but because she won't play the game outside the court.
You don't have to touch her. But you trying to swat like you're LeBron James, it's not safe, man. It's not safe. Come on, fam. This is why you're getting called a dirty player. Because you're playing out of control. Even when you're guarding up somebody. You get to hacking dribblers, the ball handler. You get to hacking them. You get to slapping their arms when they get the ball. Even Kate Martin ended up pointing at you during a rival. Like, why you're not gonna call this ref? She's slapping the heck out of me.
And somewhere in all this, you've got people pretending to care about the integrity of the sport. As if the WNBA didn't just spend the last 5 years begging for airtime and selling sponsorships like Girl Scout cookies. Now that the drama's here, everyone's pretending to be concerned about sportsmanship. Please. This isn't Wimbledon. This is women's professional basketball in the TikTok era. Conflict is the currency. And let's be honest, the WNBA has never had this much attention. Ever. People who couldn't name a single team last year are now full-blown experts in defensive rotations and foul etiquette. It's giving bandwagon. It's giving, I just discovered black women exist and I'm uncomfortable. It's giving, I learned one new word today, and it's thug. Even the NBA dudes started chiming in. LeBron's over here like, protect Caitlin at all costs. while completely forgetting he made a career off of knocking dudes into courtside popcorn vendors. Draymond Green watched Carrington's defense and probably called her for tips, but somehow she's the one getting lectures on professionalism. And through it all, the league's trying to spin this as passion. It shows how much these players care, which is rich, considering that 3 months ago, half the games were broadcast on channels no one could find unless you had a PhD in remote control programming. Now everyone cares. Everyone's watching. Everyone's mad.
The WNBA continues to brag about physical play. All the while, they have players in this league that is going to get people hurt. Last night, Skylar Diggins came very close to being really hurt. There's a difference between physical play and being downright dirty as hell. And let's be honest, there is precedent for Dijonai Carrington. Without a doubt, she's considered this defensive specialist. We all watched the what I believe to be very, and look, this is my opinion, but I can believe it if I choose. I believe she very intentionally tried to scoop out Caitlin Clark's eyeballs with her long-ass fingernails.
Carrington's mad because she's tired of being labeled every time she plays like she's got something to prove. Caitlin's mad because she's been turned into a human lightning rod for every cultural conversation from race to regional dialects. Stephen A's mad because no one told him yelling into a camera could go sideways. And the rest of us? We're just trying to remember if this is basketball or a deleted scene from Love and Hip Hop Hardwood Edition. But one thing's for sure. And just like that, Stephen A. Smith accidentally stumbled into a moment of accidental clarity, like a broken clock that finally hit noon. Yes, Stephen, thank you for finally using that megaphone of yours to say what we've all been screaming into the void while Kathy Engelbert polishes her I'm doing just fine trophy. The WNBA has turned into a mashup of Fight Club and Real Housewives of Detroit, and somehow Kathy's still pretending it's just a little on-court intensity. Girl, Caitlin Clark didn't sign up to play dodgeball with people's elbows.
Dijonai, did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
Let's talk facts. This isn't just competition getting chippy. This is a recurring event on the Caitlin Clark injury tour. First, it was a shoulder check so aggressive it could have knocked a bowling pin into therapy. Then came the full-body tackles, and now players are out here poking her in the eye like they're auditioning for a Three Stooges reboot. And every time it happens, Kathy Engelbert releases the same bland statement about player safety that's about as convincing as a toddler apologizing with cookie crumbs all over their face. And DJ Carrington? Look, if you want to cosplay as a linebacker, there's a lovely league called the NFL that would be delighted to have you. It's called basketball, not WWE, WNBA edition. Caitlin gets fouled so hard she spins like a fidget spinner, and the refs are just blinking into the abyss like, play on. You'd get more protection trying to return a blender at Walmart than Caitlin gets under the basket.
Where people are saying, okay, Dijonai, this is happening a little bit too much for my liking. These hard fouls, these reckless plays are happening a little bit too much. And I want to show you guys one more play that was also in that game that actually injured Gabby Williams. Now, if you watch here, Gabby Williams is going up for a little mid-range jumper. Dijonai jumps to try to block her, and she comes down to where Gabby Williams doesn't have enough landing space. So she lands in her landing space, and then Gabby Williams.
And where's Kathy during all this? Probably hosting a seminar titled How to Pretend Everything's Fine While Rome Burns. The woman's PR machine could put out a statement during an active volcano and still find a way to say it's just a minor warm-up. If this were the NBA and LeBron got an eye poke from a bench warmer, Adam Silver would have the FBI investigating before halftime. Kathy Engelbert needs to be replaced by someone who actually watches the games without holding a pair of rose-colored binoculars. And DJ Carrington? Maybe try focusing on locking down your assignment instead of launching into open mic night at the Octagon. Because if you're going to bring NFL energy to the court, don't be surprised when people start calling you out like you're gunning for a helmet and shoulder pads. In the meantime, Caitlyn's out here dodging flying limbs, eye gouges, and the occasional WWE suplex, just trying to play the game she loves. And Stephen A? For once, you didn't fumble the mic. But let's not get too comfortable. You're one hot take away from saying something that melts the internet again.